to reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
Well, my Straight Talk family, it's that time when I should say good night. That time when my brother Chico gets out and Patches gets in. I've never seen Chico in a mask all the months we have worked together. And he has a big black mask using his non-pharmaceutical measures. And that's good. Good example, my dear brother Chico. But my Straight Talk family, the duty is mine to say good night to all in St. Kitts and Nevis and throughout the entire Caribbean region. To my Straight Talk family in the Kittitian and Nevisian diaspora, I say greetings to all who are on the World Wide Web, all who are logged on to zizonline.com. Those of you on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and all the other platforms. Some of you are in Africa. Some of you are in Asia. Some of you are in Europe. And a whole lot of you are right here in North America. So it's time for me to say good night. In some cases, I can say good morning, and certainly in other cases, I can also say good afternoon, because such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And as I always say, we all seem to be suffering the same fate. But if you're joining me for the first time, Straight Talk is a public service program. And underline that. Straight Talk is a public service program. And we address underline all the issues of national interest. Be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and of course, most of you like most, the political issues. But once they are of national interest, we discuss them. We, in the process, try to raise the level of national discourse. We try to raise the level of the national conversation by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly we alert you as well to your obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation, my people, on yet another occasion. And if you're joining me again for the first time, I must inform you, and I trust and hope it won't be your last time, but I must inform you that Straight Talk is also a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded to call, the numbers are 465-2555. That's a local number. It has 3 lines. So I'm begging you just to be patient. If you're in the diaspora, there is one overseas line, 718-577-2916. There are many of you who like the cloak of anonymity. By that I mean you don't want to be heard for whatever reason, so you hide behind the keyboard and you send your messages. There's some of them I won't read because they border on being libelous, because you feel because you can't be heard you can attack people, not on straight talk. We want you to come clean at all times. So tonight, again, I welcome you. I trust, if it's your first time, I trust and hope it won't be your last time. I heard tonight as well of the passing of Mistress Morton. That's the mother of Charles Morton and all his siblings. I want to all his siblings as well, I want to bid them, or extend rather, my condolences to the entire family. I believe his father is still alive. Am I sure? Yes. But I want to extend condolences to Michael as well and the entire Morton family, the passing of Mrs. Morton. Tonight I want to, I'm in a mood of ambivalence. By that I mean I'm still in a prayerful mood because tonight I learned as well of 11 new cases confirmed in St. Kitts in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of COVID-19 confirmed cases to 457. There are 255 active cases on St. Kitts. There are in fact one additional case in Nevis. In Nevis there are now 17 cases, and there are 440 cases on St. Kitts. And in fact, the information I have here, I'm told it may be a little error. There should be 10 on St. Kitts and 1 on Nevis. But nonetheless, the total confirmed cases are 11. And the number of cases in St. Kitts are 440 and 17 on Nevis, a total of 457. But very, very important though, there were 20,966 negative results, and that would have come no doubt from the testing, the contact tracing as well. Worldwide, 181,930,736 persons have been confirmed. Some 167,772 cases, 772,000 that should be, cases have been recovered or have recovered, and there unfortunately was 3,945,832 deaths. Unfortunately, 3 of those were in St. Kitts, of St. Kitts and Nevis. But our vaccination or our vaccine rollout program went quite well, went very well. And as of yesterday, some 32,225 doses were administered in St. Kitts, 9,625 doses administered in Nevis. So that gives us a total of some 41,850 doses administered in total. And the total of that amount who are fully vaccinated, 18,917 persons. So if you want to look at the percentage The second doses, some 57.2% of persons, adult persons that should be, have received their second dose. And overall, their first dose, some 69.4% have received their first dose. Well, that's commendable. And we have to really give kudos to all of those who are responsible or were responsible for this. And tonight, in that context, I want us to have some prayers and commendation. And I know that quite a lot of you in the audience can pray. So yes, we hear in the Bible about prayers of commendation, but I want us tonight to have prayers and commendation. Because you see, sometime, I think it was last week, I had the opportunity to host my dear brother and Bishop Matthew Hepburn, and he called for a National Day of Prayer. I understand that there will be a National Day of Prayer. I trust and hope that once that materializes, then we will be all inclusive of all the religions, whether you're Moravian, Catholic, Anglican, whatever your religion. Let's all come together as one people. Yes, we'll have the bishops from the big churches. The small churches have bishops too, like Matthew Hepburn and others. I don't want to say I call the names, I'll run into trouble. But let's ensure we have the big and we have the small. Let us have all participating in the prayer. Yes, there was some contentious issues about fasting. Yes, prayer goes with fasting. But I'm happy to report that the vaccine rollout went well. It went well, and the vaccine we use, as we know, was AstraZeneca.
The AstraZeneca vaccine is the one that's being used in most countries globally, more than 148 countries globally, and it's the main vaccine that's being used in the United Kingdom and a number of other countries. It's the vaccine that is being used across the Caribbean. The first person in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis who took the vaccine was myself. The second person was the Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And that in itself was an indication of the confidence that we had in the vaccine.
Yes, and there's clear evidence. There's clear evidence that they work. My straight up family.
There is clear evidence that the vaccines are highly effective in reducing the risk of infection as well as transmission. There is clear evidence that even if you become infected, the vaccine will help prevent severe disease and death due to COVID-19. There is clear evidence that countries with a high vaccination rate tempered the virus and emerged to function with some sense of normalcy. Our people have shown us that they have followed the scientific evidence and listened to sound reasoning and judgment by coming out in their numbers to be vaccinated so that we can get back to a sense of normalcy.
Yes, we all need to get back to a sense of normalcy, and the people did support that position. Some people still preferred to wait, but I wish them well. And I don't want, quite frankly, to speak about politics. Let us forget politics. Someone already texted me about Douglas. Let us forget Douglas. By not getting his vaccine, he has failed to protect the children who cannot take that vaccine. He has failed to protect the elderly, who some of them cannot take the vaccine as well. But that's nothing new. That should be nothing surprising to anyone, because he's failed way back in 2013 to protect the children. It wasn't a pandemic then. It was perhaps an educational epidemic, just secluded to one particular area, the Basti High School. And he did not protect the children then, and he's not protecting them now. And those who did not take the vaccine did not do it for themselves, they did not do it for others, and they did not do it for the country.
Don't hesitate. Please go out and get vaccinated. Do it for yourself. Do it for our children. Do it for every pregnant woman and her unborn child who cannot be vaccinated. Do it for your country. Do it as a citizen of this world, as no one is safe until everyone is safe.
No one is safe until everyone is safe. So, you may want to wait. You wish to take another one. I wish you well. As Dr. Cameron Wilkinson said, you like the woman who waited on the fire truck.
Saying that we are waiting on a vaccine that has not developed. It's like having your house on fire and a fire truck showed up and you said, no, you're going to wait for the one that's coming from Sandy Point or deep.
And yes, while you're waiting and speaking all sorts of things, we are hoping that news will come soon about the second dose and second tranche of vaccines, so we can have everybody fully vaccinated, and then we can get back to some sense of normalcy in the country, because we have to restart our economy. Meanwhile, many are suffering, and I know that the incumbent government, the team in the government, are talking about a new stimulus package. When will that be rolled out? I trust and hope it's soon. In the meanwhile, we must commend, though, the Ministry of Social Development for really stepping up and ensuring that the social net is capturing those who need things most at this time. But through it all, while we want to pray and commend some people, we cannot forget that some people started spreading misinformation, and some will continue to spread misinformation and disinformation.
We consider your collaboration with us very, very important, because media is a very powerful tool in terms of educating people. Last week I would have made a distinction to show the difference between misinformation and disinformation. And I'm afraid what we are having is more disinformation, which is people putting things out there with malicious intent. The latest thing that I'm hearing is that it's the vaccinated people that are spreading the COVID-19. Now you tell me, any sensible person hearing that would want to believe that?
Is that it's the
vaccinated people are the ones spreading the COVID. And the other one that I heard is that it's when they go and get this PCR test and they shove the thing up in your nose and they go to the back of your throat, that is when they're giving you the COVID. These are the types of things that are out there. And you really would be amazed. That is disinformation. Because it is information that is deliberately spread with a malicious intent to derail the vaccination program.
And in spite of that, we have reached a long way, 69.4%. And my people, I came across a post by one of my friends on Facebook. And that friend's name, that Facebook friend, let me say for full disclosure, that Facebook friend is my cousin Larry Alonzo Denville Vaughan. He's my blood family. He's my cousin. And Larry is never out of words. He writes well. I've advised Larry in the past, and I tried to call him before I did what I'm going to do. But I know that Larry won't mind, because he went public nonetheless. And I want to commend Larry Vaughan for his maturity. His sense of maturity is something we need in this country. We perhaps need more Larrys. Because Larry in a post wrote this under the caption, "Healed and Satisfied, a testimonial of thanks." And as I said, my cousin Larry is never out of words, so I'll be hard pressed to read the entire posting. But without trying to doctor anything, I just thought I will take out the important points without diluting his message or his testimonial of thanks. And I decided to read this excerpt, and I quote, "I want only to say that I was pleased beyond words with the show of care and professionalism I witnessed and experienced while being attended to at the Joseph France General Hospital and later in the government-run quarantine facility where I was isolated." He continued, "The nurses on the ward were wonderful. While I could hear and sense that they were working in a stressful environment, they were on the ball." He spoke as well to the bed linen. He raised the issue of pillows and the linen. And he continued though. He spoke about the bed linen which raised his eyebrows, beg your pardon, when he got into the room that first night. And he felt the linen to make sure that he was going to not sleep in on plastic sheets. And in his most diplomatic voice, I asked, he writes, the chief technician nurse, how possible was it to have a pillow, especially with the head of the bed not rising? He went on though, explaining that the nurse on duty explained that because the nature of COVID was not possible to have pillows and linen on the beds which needed to be washed. However, he reconciled in his mind and he wrote this. It was a control measure. I was satisfied with the ease of offering an explanation. I instantly gave these nurses a passing grade, and somehow I felt comfortable sleeping on those plastic sheets which would change every day. Everyone went on to write, the most peculiar experience for me was the daily regimen of injections. I think it should mean regimen of injections. I'm certain that I got at least 8 injections per day, added to the saline solution that was perpetually in my hand. I remembered musing and telling myself, if I truly were an anti-vaxxer, as people have wrongly and maliciously termed me, 2 jabs of a vaccine would be much less than 8 injections per day. I remembered specifically that one of the injections was administered at least twice per day, straight to my belly. I was told every time it was given to me that its purpose is to prevent the complications of blood clots that are associated with COVID-19. He continued, and I quote, "Although I never saw the faces of the nurses or the staff at the hospital that served me and took great care of me, I was pleased at the visible effort. It was altogether a most pleasant experience as I look back. I think my healing came not just from the prayers and messages received from friends and family, but from how comfortable I was made to feel as well by the doctors and nurses. All this happened at a time when the nurses and doctors were overwhelmed with new COVID-19 cases. I salute," he continues, "and thank all the healthcare workers, including the ambulance drivers and the EMT who transported me to the isolation facility. The EMT sat with me and she was cordial. I have presented my experiences first and foremost because I received care that I can only rate as excellent and state that I was shown professionalism for which I am most grateful. I also want to outline the hard work of the medical professionals because only by our encouragement and praise can we continue to motivate them to deliver at their best both now in a time of national crisis and beyond. I find myself now consciously praying for health and safety, or for the health and safety of all doctors and nurses, something I cannot recall doing before. I encourage them," he concludes, "to keep up the good work. I saw them give their best effort to help someone as insignificant as I am to heal and overcome the greatest health challenge I would have faced in my lifetime so far. I pray that many others in the medical, surgical, pediatric, and other wards may have a similar and more satisfying experience after having been served by our medical profession, or professionals that should be." And this was signed by my cousin Larry Vaughan. He stopped short of encouraging others, however, to get the jab, and in so doing protect themselves and the children and the elders. But I must commend Larry for his courage, for his honesty, and for his maturity. In this published document, Healed and Satisfied, a testimonial of thanks. And I did not read all of it, I confess, because it's a 4-page, a 3-page document, and that would take some time. But I took an excerpt of the most important parts of that brief, that little thesis, that dissertation from Larry. He's a man never out of words, but he writes well. And I wish Larry well and a full and speedy recovery, and all who are suffering from this dreadful virus in St. Kitts and beyond. So I, like Larry, want to commend all the health workers. I want to commend the law enforcement people. I want to commend everyone, because in spite of everything, we have done well. We have done well, my family. But some people still want to spread disinformation and misinformation. My heart goes out to Dr. Cameron Wilkerson, because even himself came under the fire of some of these distractors.
If it were that they were criticizing the message, I would be more concerned. But I am happy that the majority of the country, they have been listening. As you heard, we have 69.1% of the adults who came forward and got vaccinated, and very soon we'll have 70%. And so I just want to tell Bucky that I fly at a different altitude where I don't listen to naysayers and criticisms, etc. My eyes are quite clear with where I'm heading. My focus is on the entire country, whether they are for me or against me, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that everyone is safe. And that's where I focus on. And so I'm actually a very happy man. I've been a happy man all of my life. And so those criticisms, they don't bother me.
They criticize poor Cameron. But like he said, the criticisms never bothered him. He has focused on the country and not on those who, instead of listening and heeding to his message, that shot at the messenger. They did so as well with the CMO, Dr. Laws, and spread rumors about this.
I want to end on a personal note. On September the 15th, 2016, I joined the staff in the Ministry of Health in my present capacity as the Chief Medical Officer. I function as the Chief Technical Advisor to the government on matters related to health. I provide technical support and leadership to the health team. I have been functioning in this capacity for almost 5 years. I serve passionately. I am committed to my service. I want us to dismiss the fake news and misinformation that is in circulation. I'm on the job, I'm working, and it's quite obvious that I haven't resigned. Let us not be distracted. Let us move forward in our fight against this virus.
Yes, even shots were fired at a chief medical officer at a time when we needed someone as balanced as Dr. Hazel Laws, as balanced as the medical chief of staff, and all the health workers, matron, as well as those nurses and those in the COVID quarantine facility as well, my family. And we must as well commend the cabinet led by Prime Minister Harris, Matron Tuckett, I just got the name, and led by the cabinet led by Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. the Honorable Timothy Sylvester Harris in his Life First strategy. What a leader to have at a time like this. A leader who shares and a leader who cares about his people.
I am a leader who carries the pain of my people heavy on my heart and on my mind. I am a leader who want to share in their joys and in their sorrow. And part of my responsibility always is to help our people to get where they must go, where is necessary, where they can be safe and secure. Indeed, the theme of our last campaign was that we will have a stronger and safer future. And so I tend to encourage, urge, strongly require that we bring all on board to ensure that each one can enjoy this stronger and safer future.
A leader who shares and cares. So my Stray Dog family, I've traveled long. I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to encourage your praise and your commendation. Tell me what you liked about the work of the NEOC, the AGOC, and the cabinet. Tell me what you would like to see going forward as we look towards reopening our economy, getting back to a sense of normalcy. Once we get that herd immunity, obviously I want to come home. I want a reduced quarantine, and many want to do the same. So I know I talk on behalf of the many of us who are out here, and you want to see me home. So let's get the vaccine. Let's get the protection that is required, so we can open the economy, get back to normalcy. The COVID-19 virus is going to be always around. So let us protect ourselves against it. It's 8:38. I'll open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. The numbers again are 465-2555 and or 5. Take that back. 718-577-2916. I always find it imperative to implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us ensure that the things we say and not do will be beneficial to all concerned. And please, let us make certain as well that in saying and doing those things, we will strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, I go to the lines and take my first call. Caller, you line.
Yes. Good evening, Honorable Patches. I hear listening to you with all what you're saying, right? But I want to make the post office agent open because up to now, me ain't gonna pay and the whole month done. And looking at in the prison, the head man in the prison want to know how the Caribbean Union get in there. If somebody want the man them from the prison bring it in, I want the orderly. So everybody wants to know how if he get it from the hospital when he go for medication or whatever. So everybody is wanting to know how he get in the door. Yes. And looking at these police and them, yes, we understand the rules, but sometimes we ain't got no money and we got no money. So when they say it's lockdown means you got to have food and money in your house. So I want to know what all to do. And I want the Inland Revenue open that you all could get the tax money. But I want the post office open to see if anybody send any mail to me with anything. So please open it. And you have a better night, not because I'm a labor woman. I love labor, and labor loves me. I'm looking at PAM and unity, everybody in it. And everybody broke. Feel. Have a good night.
Have a good night. That's my labor friend. Let's go back to the lines. Call your line.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Patches, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Well, I'm doing excellent. Quite a while we haven't really interact. But I really want to take this opportunity this evening to say a few things. First of all, I really was very happy and proud when the Master opened the clouds or his heaven and poured the showers of blessing on this country. I was extremely proud and happy because, you know, we are behind the 8 ball in reference to the rainfall. From January to May in 2020, we had about 12 inches. And the same time, from January to May in 2021, we had only about 6 inches. Normally, between January to June is about 15 inches. So imagine we would have witnessed the end of June, which marks the end of half of the year. And I don't even think that we would have received 10 inches. And you know, normally, annually is about 55 inches per year. So we are really and seriously behind the 8 ball. And we hope that the Master will continue to pour his blessing on our nation. We are in the hurricane season. We have witnessed 31 days so far and 139 more to go. And we hope that at the end of the 139 left, which would be the 30th day of November, that he would have blessed our nation in terms of the water, but he would have continued to keep the wind away. I want to say, Patches, and to share my sympathy, especially to the folks who would have passed and their family in reference to the virus. So my heart goes out to these families and hope that they will be strong, remain strong, and the Lord will be with them. And the Motin family, especially at this time, I want to share my sympathy with them and to tell them that we are there with them and to continue to give their support with them. But that is as I move on, because there are serious amount of issues facing our country, and not only the country, the Federation, the Caribbean, but the whole world. And I'm seriously very, very disappointed. But let me just also say, in reference to the COVID team and the government, I am extremely grateful and happy and proud for the outstanding performance and record up to date, and to really thank them for their service. Service is not just a courtesy. Service also is a commitment. And I want to commend, congratulate, and to support these people who take this seriously, and to continue to ask God to continue to give them all the wisdom, knowledge, and strength as they continue to serve our beautiful land of beauty. But I want to say, Patches, that in reference to the nation's history of St. Kitts and Nevis, there are many who will be recorded on the wrong side of history. I want to say, in reference to the present opposition in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I am extremely, extremely disappointed in the opposition. When it comes to the opposition of a country, I expect the opposition to choose the battle. But I don't expect an opposition to choose the battle, or this battle, when it comes to a crisis. A crisis facing our nation. I don't expect the opposition to choose that as a battle. I expect the opposition to choose the battle, to fight unfortunately, look at it. The opposition is led by a doctor. The opposition party chairman is a doctor. None of these gentlemen have taken in the first place. Patrice, could you inform the country, as I ask you this question, what is the main obligation of a doctor in terms of their responsibility to the general public? Hello?
Go ahead. I thought that was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, the obligation of a doctor is to save lives, among many other things. Save lives. And this is something that I expect that these doctors would take. That is one of the serious training that a doctor receives, to save lives. And I expect these doctors to take this training very seriously. This is what I expect. But unfortunately, these people are saying that they take performance seriously. But what these people take is not the picking performance, they take politics seriously. But I want to say, Patrice, that our country will continue to move in the right direction. Over 69% of the first dose, 50-something% of the second dose, and we are doing well, and very well without them. We will continue as a nation. I ask every single citizen in this country, not only the people in administration, because as far as I am concerned, I never ever know any government end up in the hospital. I never know any government end up in the prison. I never ever know any government end up in the cemetery. People are the one. And this deadly virus, I expect our citizens to raise the bar. These are the people who are responsible. Hello? Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Go ahead, Yusuf. Try and rap for me. Try and rap.
Okay,
Try and rap.
okay, yeah, let me just wrap it. I just want to say that it was unfortunate that I see some fellas on the bypass road getting close to 6 p.m., about 8 of them, and each one of them have a dog. These are not the time. This is not the time for these people to be on the road doing all kind of things. I expect every single citizen, as I said, to be responsible in their discretion and to make sure that whatever they do is in the best interest of this country. I will leave it there for now, Patches, but just to say that I continue to hope and pray that our great master will continue to shower his blessing on our country, and let us play our part, because he helped those who help themselves, and we have an obligation to help ourselves and by extension to help our country. So I will leave it there and hope that you will continue to have a very productive and successful program. You take care.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Let's be guided by the rules of brevity. I allow you to extend your intervention, but a very good intervention, yes. And I believe, I believe it's important we get some rain, as you said. But I think as well, as I always promote the fact that we must look towards desalination, but the climate variability that's going on, we are going to get less and less rainfall. It's nothing new to have a rainfall deficit because that's happening from climate change. Caller, you're live.
Hello? Yeah, greetings, brother.
Yes, you're live. Greetings, my brother.
Yeah, this is Ras Kalonji. I want
How
to
are you,
give
Kalonji?
basically tonight. Before I do that, I'd just like to salute condolences to the people who have lost their lives due to the COVID situation, and those who are in quarantine who are positively, who are test positive for the virus. I just want to put that out there, you know, and hope that everything go all right for them and that they recover. But tonight, you know, you started about, you play some clips and stuff like that about the vaccination. I want to deal with the vaccination tonight, right? In the sense that you know that there's a patent on the vaccine. Is that so? Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
they have to be. They're manufactured, yes.
Okay, good. Now, this is a worldwide pandemic. I call it a pandemic because I know it's planned, right? Lives are being lost. Why is it there's a patent on it? We are not discussing that part of it because of global pandemic. If this vaccine is so good, why is it there's a patent on it? Because it's manufactured, that is your position? Hello?
Make a point. Make a point.
Okay. Let me continue. I'm saying now, right?
Yeah.
That the people who manufacture the vaccine, there's a patent on it. A patent means that only the people who manufacture it or the companies that produce it can distribute it or sell it. And there's an emergency around the world. For instance, India in particular and South Africa in particular, they have said to the World Trade Organization, why not lift the ban on the patent so that because they have the capability of manufacturing vaccines. I know that you know that India is one of the main countries that manufacture vaccines. That's what India is known for. Anyhow, South Africa is saying to the World Trade Organization, let us lift the patent, right, for a particular time so we could produce vaccines to save lives. These people are saying, no, we can't do that. So, the way I'm looking at it, I'm dealing with data. I'm not dealing with conspiracy theories because when other people have different views, the established order, whether it's in the metropoles or in the colonies, they say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. So let me deal with what we have before us, right? They're saying that, no, we are not lifting the ban. So I'm looking at it from a perspective that is all about making money. Because here we have a crisis, and we can solve the crisis in terms of lifting the ban for a particular time where we could produce vaccines to save lives. So I'm saying to our people is that this thing is all about making money. That's the way how we look at it. For instance, when we have an alternative view, we say that is a conspiracy theory. Now, our people, our country is a Christian-minded country. In the Bible, it said that Moses parted the Red Sea. Right? That's the view. It's in the Bible, so it's so. If they want to believe that, that is up to them. Some people don't believe that. But you can't tell me that the Haitian Revolution didn't take place in 1804. Nobody could deny that. Because we have the actual fact. We don't have the fact that Moses parted the Red Sea. So I'm saying to you that when we look at these things, that the people who are pushing the vaccine, they're saying to our people that you must go and take the vaccine. You cannot deny that the Tuskegee experiment took place. You cannot, nobody could deny that. So I'm saying to you, you have empirical evidence in front of you. Our people are telling us, through the World Health Organization and all these medical establishments, is telling you, if you take the vaccine, it will stop you from losing your life against severely ill. So when other people with a different view pose something different now, it's a conspiracy theory. So I'm saying we have the information about the pattern. Why not lift the pattern so people could be vaccinated? If the vaccine is so good in terms of saving lives. But we're not hearing that part of it. And you're telling me, oh, it's manufactured. But the people who manufactured the vaccine was taxpayers' money who was given to those these manufacturers to produce the vaccine. So I'm just raising these concerns.
I understand the point, Kalonji. I understand the point, but do you believe in intellectual property rights?
Okay.
Yes or no?
For instance, you're a singer, you produce a song, so you have the right to the song. But in this situation, it's a crisis. So why not use that to save humanity? It's a crisis, a pandemic.
So you're agreeing, I understand. But so
I'm just raising
that
these concerns because what I'm saying to you, if I come to you with an argument and say, well, the vaccines, or some people are saying that the vaccine is the one who causing all this infection. I'm not posing that argument. I'm coming from it in terms of what we had before. The pattern is a problem because South Africa is saying, if you give us the formula, we could produce it. So other people could benefit from it. So I'm just raising these questions so that they could be discussed.
But you raise a very important point. But you also agree that they're entitled to have their intellectual property rights protected.
But they didn't put up their own money. It was the people's money, it was taxpayers' money in the United States. Before Trump leave office, that money was given from the government to produce the vaccines. So it should be used to benefit the masses. That is the point. Because what I'm trying to show you, this is the very essence of capitalism. Is that these companies, Big Pharma, for instance, I have information with the pharmaceutical industrial complex have produced things for like diabetes and high blood pressure. We have serious side effects and killing people. That's a reality. So what I'm trying to, just like the arms industry, the United States create was, you understand, so that they could sell the arms to make money. It's a capitalist venture. They have nothing to do with morality and saving humanity. So I'm just raising these questions so all people understand what is happening. You see, because I can't pose the argument to you from a conspiracy theorist. I'm posing it to you in terms of what is before us. You can't tell me that the pattern is a conspiracy theory. That is the reality of the situation.
Well, there has been some discussion on waiving the intellectual property rights, which is trade related.
Exactly. So what I'm saying to you though, okay, for instance, I'm glad you raised that. I saw an interview with Bill Gates, right, where he's saying that the property rights should not be waived. Now, this is the same Bill Gates who we know has been saying that he believes in population reduction and bringing vaccines in order to deal with whatever outbreak comes in terms of a virus or any kind of sickness. That is a reality, that's not a conspiracy theory. But when we raise these things, the establishment said that's a conspiracy theory. So I'm saying to you is that all these companies is a capitalist venture where they want to make money. For instance, Jeffrey Bezos, one of the richest man in the world, his wealth have increased 100% since the pandemic. This man owned $180 billion. I'm just talking about one person. I'm talking about the rest of the elites globally. So I'm saying to you that these are questions our people should be dealing with. I do not deal with conspiracy theories. I deal with actual fact. Anything I say, I can produce the evidence. That's why I'm discussing the intellectual property rights this evening, so our people could understand what is really taking place.
Got you loud and clear, my brother.
Okay, my brother. But before I leave, I just want to say what Granny said. Granny said, plant weed. What Granny said, buy local. What Granny said, support your own. What Granny said, it's time for us to develop our own vaccine. We have all the plans here to develop them up. Something natural, so we don't have to depend on imperialism to get something from them that we don't know about. Because you can't tell me, my brother, that the Tuskegee experiment is a conspiracy theory. The CDC, one of the main agencies that our people look to for information, is the one who inject our people with syphilis in the Tuskegee experiment. So I'm saying these things have to be considered. But in the whole discourse, these things are not raised. So that's why I'm raising it this evening. I'm not attacking anybody. All I'm saying to you, especially what took place in the General Assembly here when we had Parliament, I mean, that was atrocious on both sides. That is my position, because we are arguing about something that we have no control of. We didn't bring the coronavirus into being. And we are not dealing with the people who are responsible for the coronavirus, which is the United States government. And the evidence is there to prove that. So I leave you tonight, my brother. All I'm saying to you, that our people should get together and help one another in order to get through this crisis that we are facing. One love this time.
Thank you very much. I don't think anyone can dispute that waiving the patent would boost vaccination, but that takes us into a different realm, into the WTO agreement on trade and trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. But let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Hey, good evening, Patrick. How are you this evening, sir?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Great, brother. Hanging in there. You know what's happening, and I kind of agree with Kalunji in this, you know. The patent, they shouldn't hold it up. First of all, it's not all the companies who got money from the government. One or two did. But it shows you, if our people, whether in Africa or wherever, these countries, if there wasn't this corrupt, including India, we could have been doing our own thing like this. Okay, stop blaming America, Kalunji. You lived in America for years. What did America do to people like you and Junior Liburd? Passes, don't follow these people, okay? I hope one day the CIA is going to come and take them away. No, because the terrorism they're preaching against America is wrong. Anyhow, he's a conspiracy theorist. Smart guy. He grew up under good parents, but he's in this conspiracy theorist with the rest of them. It's all conspiracy theories. Now all of a sudden he wanted people to give them their patent now. The same man, Mr. Kalunji, smart guy, who got places. But
let's avoid the personal attack, no? I mean...
Well, no, he's my friend. I sit with him and talk with him, Pat. There's nothing. But we got to tell the truth. The truth is the truth. We have all the millions of dollars that the Douglas Mafia thief from the petition. That could be billion stuff. Our people are not billion stuff. We are thieving from each other. Robbing and thieving. So, Patrick, the truth has to be told. Anyhow, just quickly, this guy Liburd, what did I tune in there? Did he get coronavirus? Because this guy is intelligent, very talented, a great singer. So, is he okay?
Yes, he's okay. He gave his testimonial of thanks.
Oh, so he got sick too with the coronavirus. I'm not sure. So I'd like to
Yes, he's out of
to
hospital.
him, if he got it, and everybody else. But let me tell you, our people, we have to build up ourselves and stop robbing and thieving from each other and fighting and conspiracy theories and America. If we were doing these things, really one could be making our vaccine. Okay? Anyhow, Patrick, because he's my friend, but he talk a lot of craziness like that Freedom Radio. They're crazy, man. Have a good one, Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my straight talk family. Let's go back to the lines. Call you live.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. Blessed evening, my beloved brother. How are you? How are the family?
We are peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
Good, man. Good. All is good, brother. Some nice showers and everything, man. For several hours now, cool on that heat, you know. So that is good, man. I hope our Caribbean is getting that too, beloved. No, beloved, here we talking about. You see, like the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, man, we got to look to self. Self-reliance, brother, that's it. We can't expect other people to give us vaccine here, vaccine there. They're going to think vaccine for their people first and foremost. Look, Cuba. The Republic of Cuba, beloved brother. With all this embargo for 60 years. And look at Cuba health system. Why are these countries in CARICOM, South and Central America, can finance Cuba, man, and put another laboratory, you know, develop vaccine for our people, whether it's in Jamaica, St. Kitts, Nevis, Antigua, Barbuda, some other place. They just don't be in one place, you know, and just finance it. And the African continent is supposed to be the same. We can't look for, and this ongoing, we got the most brilliant minds, young minds, beloved. Why we can't channel them into developing vaccine for our people and stop damn depend on other people, man? Come on! You think these people don't care about us? They care about their people, and I ain't give them wrong for that. We got to love our people first and foremost, right? And do the things for our people first and foremost, and unite. Unite, Africans. Unite. Globally, man. And we just finance whatsoever. Everything, so they can just take us out one by one when we are collective. But if you're going to be individualistic, right? They're easily going to could pop off. Bam, you're gone. Bam, you're gone. You're gone. But when we are united, beloved, you ain't going to go 100% unity. That will never happen. Beloved, that will never happen, because you already know you're going to get traitors in every race, and the African race is no exception, beloved. But we need more unity in the African race globally, brother. And let me just do what we have to do for us, depend on us, self-reliance. Brother Kalunja always talk about the Nguza Saba. It's the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Brother, live by that. And the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, that black print there for so long, beloved. So long. Why we can't use these things? The great Kwame Ture have a book, Black Power. Why we can't use all of those things, man? And Dr. Amos Wilson, looking for Black Power, brother. We can use all of these ideas and inculcate the ideas of the young people, man. The now generation and the future generations stop depending on others. Let me depend on ourselves in all spheres of our life. Brother, thanks again for hearing me. Pan-Africanism our perish. One love, my beloved African brother.
Yes, one love, my brother as well. You know, it's very interesting perspective because, you know, I don't know if our governments have the financial wherewithal to do like these more developed countries to fund research in whether in science or other areas. But that's something we can look at. But let's go back to the lines in the meanwhile. Call you live.
Good night, Mr. Liburd. Good night. Food for thought, food for thought.
Good night, my dear.
We don't need a vaccine, you know, we got all kind of vaccine, you know. You know the bush we used to call Liburd food bush? That they're very good. With a little ginger, a little garlic, and
apple bush?
The one we use the ginger where we call chituma, wherever it is, and you hung it up and you churn it and you just boil it and you drink that. And this is the water where they lock up both we are only supposed to go. That's the best thing for the corona here. They're going to release all the corona out of our lungs. We don't need our thing here. How couldn't you talk about it there a while ago? Because it's right. We have natural sources here, natural. You have a bush, you know, you know it good. You call it bitter tamon. All them there good, you know, something is you want to drink to wash out your lungs. You have jumpy bead bush. You have all kind of bush, you know, and eat healthy. And eat your papaya, eat your this, eat your that, eat all kind of food. Right now I eat mango in go low, mango like dirt. Right? All them gonna strengthen your immune system. So that's why I'm just watching on, and I don't care what nobody say. I'm too aged to know what's going on, and I just watching my health and using them things, and I feel strong like a lion. We have too much resources. Too much. You see them bush there when we go in country down there by rats. Upper side, they're very good. They're very good. And one day I went on the train, and when I hear Lord Black explain it to me, how it's go, what about it. You see them French read, them again very good. You try it and you drink it. We got a lot of resources here. We want a medication. Somebody chucks so he ain't gonna get rich out of me, you know. Because I'm not buying no drugs. At my age, I don't know if you're older than me, but over 60 I'm going. Hitting 70 and I feel good like I'm just 40. So you have a good night, and I like how Colonji express it. And Brother Dabo, we need to use the bush. A lot of people don't use clean out bush, bitter tamon. The bitter bush there when you lizard food bush, very good, clean my body. When you meet my body healthy,
okay.
No corona, we're gonna get no corona.
Okay.
So we're gonna get a lockdown.
Thanks for your input. I'm not getting the praise, the commendation, and the thanks that I asked for though, because we have reached a milestone, almost 70% herd immunity. Let's go back to the lines. Call you live.
Hey, good night, Patches. This is Alva Pemberton. I just want to echo my gratitude for all the people that make the extra effort to take the vaccine. I want to say thanks to the PM for the magnanimous job he's been doing, and the COVID team. I also want to applaud all those that took the vaccine. I want the country to return to the status that I can just jump off a plane and go anywhere I want, or off of cruise ship and go any place I want. So let us continue to work together. Let's continue to pray for each other. And let us continue to motivate each other so that the country can come back to normal. Have a good night. Stay well.
Have a good night. Let's go back to the lines. Call you live. Hello, caller.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Hello, good night.
Yeah, good night.
Ambassador.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I greet you well, Ambassador.
I give you the reciprocal.
I know you recognize the voice.
Yes, from on the yard.
Yes, I want to say to you, Ambassador, that today I heard your open remarks, which I can concur and agree with. That those are powerful remarks from the CMO, the two generals on the front line, as you call them. Yes, and they have come under increasingly unnecessary attacks at this time, which are not necessary. But I want to digress, if you'd allow me, because I saw a video from SKNIS, I think it's a Nevis News Information Service, which really touched my heart. Today, our beloved Prime Minister apparently opened a home for a lady in Tabernacle. And I am really, really impressed with what I saw. I am really impressed with what I saw. It shows the compassion of the man. It shows the love he has for the less fortunate. And oftentimes, I watched the Parliament on Monday, and I was really disgusted with the behavior of the opposition party. But when I saw this today, it reassured and reaffirmed in my own belief and in my own understanding of the PM, the love he has for the poor and dispossessed. When I listened to the young man, Ambassador, the son of the recipient of that home, the young man seemingly will be a bright young man, a young man who will contribute to the future of this nation. And these are the things that they need to be highlighted more and more about the Federation. And so I really want to commend the PM, commend Minister Wendy Phipps for their timely intervention in helping this family acquiring this home in Tabernacle. And I gather it was built in record time. So I really, really was impressed with that much.
Thank you very much. I did see that video, but somehow I didn't open to read it.
Yes, it's an amazing, when you have a chance, it's an amazing, when you hear the remarks from the young man and the way he spoke eloquently, it shows that the future of the Federation is in good hands. And in addition to that, Ambassador, I am really, I have never most of the time I never discuss politics on your program, but I'm really taken aback to what I saw on Monday in the Parliament. I was really disgusted, to say the least. I could not believe that in Jamaica, what we have done, the opposition party, we're in opposition. We have supported the vaccination program. We have supported, a matter of fact, our party leaders gone ahead and has taken the vaccine. Every member of Parliament has been fully vaccinated, and councillors. So to see what was being discussed in the Parliament on Monday, it caused me to quiver, to say the least. And I cannot believe that men who ought to know better, who ought to have, at this time, when the world is going through a crisis, when the Federation and other countries are fighting an enemy that is not known, we can't come together. And that is really sad. That is really sad. And I would say some stronger words, but for the sake of peace, I will leave it as it is.
Got you loud and clear. My street talks, my family, and hope Jamaica is doing well.
Happy good night.
Yes. Good night, my dear.
Good night to everyone. Patrick, tonight is my birth night. I just here listening.
Tonight is your birthday?
Yes, Patrick.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Happy birthday, dear Jackie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. And tomorrow is my little cousin one. She's so happy birthday tomorrow when he comes. Saturday.
Okay.
He come up the doctor, then we go to college now. They're gonna have to resign because if too much of Bush doing the job, that means nobody gonna have to go to the hospital then. And I want to tell some people something because some people don't listen to this talk and when they hear something they want to call and throw gasoline to blaze up thing. But whether you support the government or the opposition and you say anything wrong, that ain't say because you support, you can't come and say what they feel. Everybody gonna say how they feel and everybody gonna talk. What gonna say what he want, culture, me, Mr. Politics, them from the opposition side, Carl Brown, what he name, Mr. Mahan, everybody gonna say how they feel. And even though you support the team unity government and you say something that you say somebody can't come and say whether you're wrong and say how they feel. You understand? So some people they just listen and when they hear something they want to call. That's why they have something going on with somebody where they walk to the hospital. That ain't say he right, somebody could say well you're wrong. Maybe the person say he need to fire because what they hear him saying. The person always to say that, but maybe they ain't mean it to do it, but they just say it because of what they hear he's saying. But some people don't like to listen and just stop thing. But when I hear positive thing too, I must call in too and give somebody credit. Don't wait till when I want to raise up things I don't know why I'm dealing with. Patches, you got some people in this world here. I don't even know what to say about them here, Patches. I don't just listen. And that's what I have to say tonight. When I hear somebody say something good, I must call in and big them up. Not when I hear them bashing. So make everybody the bash. What was the labor, mouthpiece for labor? People that bash him. Everybody going to say what they like. It's a talk show. So if people don't call in the talk show and talk, how the talk show going to go? It's a talk show. Everybody going to say how they feel. You understand, Patches? And that's why I have to say tonight. When I are calling in, don't listen. And wait till when I hear something why I want to throw gasoline on. When I hear somebody bigging up the Prime Minister for the good work, call him and big him up too. Rockefeller don't get a lot of word. Charles Brown, the man just say why he want and say how he feel. I don't need to call him Patches. If somebody going to say, oh, fire him because they hear he say something, maybe it's what they hear him saying, but they mean it from the heart to say, fire him. But people won't call in and just throwing gas on it. Curtis just call and say what he like. Who is, everybody going to say how they feel, Patches, they're going to say how I feel too, and who want to talk about me. If people don't talk about the talk and the talk, so what a boring talk so it's going to be. Everybody going to say how they feel, man. I just stop it, to bias on one-sided and holding people in our heart. From the time I hear the person say, one time a labor, always a labor and a leopard can't change this one. I know they got something in the heart against the Prime Minister, but I need to let go and move on. Stop holding up people in our heart because nobody paying no rent in our heart. Let go. Let go. Move on. Stop holding people in our man. That is who the cap fit wear it. I listen to them all the time. They don't call you so no more. But as soon as anything what they want to hear, they call and start to talk about it. I don't know if his culture use the word said funny because of what he said. But maybe culture ain't say it for nothing. He just said because of what the thing was going on and he said, but Charles, let's see how we feel and talk what you want. I don't need to call Charles. This can just say anything. That's how we feel. But somebody wants to jack on it and rise up to it. Oh, Charles used to talk about unity. This is something wrong. He is to put in place here. Possible down here. I don't care who like me now. Because that's start in mind. And who the captain, we are it. That's it. I got. I see you. Good night to me both.
Have a good night.
I'm going to have a drink of red wine now.
Enjoy the rest. Enjoy the rest of your birthnight. I trust you'll see many more. My warrior from the east. Let's go back to the lines.
Yes.
Call your line.
Good evening, I am in Patches. When Douglas used to be there. Calbourne used to say all kind of thing about Douglas, and I used to be glad. So now I give him back for you, I'll leave Calbourne alone. See you.
Okay, that's my Labour friend. Let's go back to the lines. Call your line.
Good night, Patrick.
My brother, jam down.
How are you, my buddy? Patrick.
I am peaceful, man.
Patrick, nobody bashing Calbourne, you know. But Calbourne walk in the hospital. He must not bring in down the institution like that. If you're a scientist, you don't make vaccine, go America, go Cuba, go make them. Do not stress on Jane France for giving you $1. I could go further with Calbourne, because I know the history of Calbourne, and Calbourne ain't got no shame. He walk in the hospital, that's where he make a daily bread. Where people who born in Sinkits must watch Calbourne. Bring down the hospital and don't say nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with politics. What are you talking about? This is about Jane France where Calbourne walk, and I will support the officials in the hospital to call Calbourne and have a little talk with him. Because Calbourne is real. I heard it. Me jam down here the thing going on. The Calbourne is crazy. I know he doesn't drink rum. I want to know if he does smoke the stupidness. I want if he's smoking powder.
Let's go easy.
Calbourne is crazy.
Jam down.
That's enough for that. Cousins.
True.
I want to tell you, my brother, that we up against a battle here. We people who say they're professionals. And when you hear the nonsense where these people keeping up, but if you think it, you hurt think it, you're going to hurt me and hurt other people. I will never support where a lot of people who talk about the university and the boy supporting. This is a pandemic. This is we own trying to keep Sinkit safe. And you got people in Bastille, poor people, making it the business, putting all kind of foolishness on the media. I'm going on the road, you know. I'm playing around with a lot of young people head, telling them nonsense and they know better. You see Moonlight, you see Seaborn, you see Melbourne and them boys, but the pity I used to be around them. I be joking boys so around the circus and elsewhere banging off them out. I don't tell half of them, you know. When I want to talk, put your name on a ballot paper like Ian Patty's Liburd, and I will see how the ball game go. I will see how much I could convince people and how much I like in this society because I think it. Basket think it. Put your name on a ballot paper. He has done that, and he got many more to do. When I hear man moving around town, I try to keep saying all kind of thing about catches. But half of them should have in the jail, you know. Half of them should have in the jail for the badness they do in this society here. And they walk a play around people. Patches, have a good night. I will be back. Jacqueline, happy birthday. Happy birthday, my girl. Patches, you don't study them, you know. You just represent we. Because I know what you could do. Have a good night. And PM Harris.
Have a good night.
Keep the ball rolling. Not like Vivi Richards.
My dear.
Hit across the line.
Okay, my brother. Jam down. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I'm calling from Nevis, Sister Island.
How is Nevis?
I would like to encourage the people of St. Kitts to take the vaccine and to go out and do what they have to do and do what is right. I took the vaccine. I have no symptoms. You know, right now I feel like I ain't even catching no cold or nothing. before time, I used to catch a cold maybe once every 2 months. And everything been going smooth. You know? I did my own research, spoke to my doctor, and in the first 2 weeks in starting to give out the vaccine, I realized people started dying in India and in places because the government in them places not care about the people like our government care about us down here. You know? They sell out the vaccine and they left the people up there to suffer. But down here we have a government that look out for us and to make sure that even though this vaccine is scarce and hard to get and miles away, they get it here for us and giving us for free. We never got to pay a dime. Man, we need to work with the government and get vaccinated so the place could open. People are ballers say they not got no food, they not got this, they not got that. And they want the government to help them, but they don't want to help themselves. Go out and take the vaccine. Me understand Rastafari, you know, and Christianity and people got a religion and so, but some of the time you got to put certain things aside and do what you have to do to get going so the place could open up. You know, I was listening earlier and I heard a lady calling about the bush and drinking bush and the seawater, a vaccine and all kind of foolishness, right? Now, we have all these things around us and we could use them, yes. But we're not no scientists. We got to listen to what the science say. We're living in modern time now. You know? We just got to step up, take the vaccine, you know, and just hope for the best. Because we can't do nothing else. We are poor people. We are poor people. We don't borrow with money. We poor. We go out. We work every day. You know? Most of us, if we can't go work, we can't eat. So, that being the case, we can't go play forward and play big and say, oh, me don't know what in that day and me don't know what you got in and this gonna happen and that gonna happen. We got to be positive and say thank you, Prime Minister Harris and the Honorable Premier Mark Brantley for making this vaccine available for us without got to spend $1. I mean, people that die, this thing real. You know, I never thought, I am 29 years old and I never thought I would have lived, like in my lifetime. These things, me would have seen a virus that broke out and the place got to lock down and you can't get a conversation with somebody, you know. You got to wear a mask. Before, if you wear a mask, you get locked up. Now, you could wear a mask and nothing happen, you know what I mean? The place to change. Something is going on and we got to come as one. And we got to listen to the experts, listen to the doctors, you know, they're trying their best. Listen to the police. Listen to corporate. You know, I hear a lot of these people calling and I've been trying to get in on the Mark show a couple of weeks now to try to encourage Nevisians to take the vaccine and I haven't been getting in. But I said I'm going to try to get in and you show tonight to encourage those Nevisians who haven't taken the vaccine as yet, right? If you realize now, we have been hearing that the dosage have expired and they got to wait for the other batch, right? And me feel so good that me don't went and take mine in the old days. I mean, when me drive and pass the health center, I see all these expats, people from France, people from England, you know, people from America who own properties here, who work in front of laptop and computer from the house, and who important people, you know, I line up, it take this free vaccine that we got down here for our people. So if them take it, if they go and take it without any fear or without any doubt, and them wait in line and got patience, why we can't go and do that? You know? You know?
I hear you, my brother. I hear you loud and clear.
We got to, I ain't hold up the line too long and come out the phone now, but we got to wake up and we got to open up our eyes and we got to give thanks to the government for trying the best to make sure that we have this thing at arm's length. And all who not take the vaccine yet, I'm telling you, go and take the vaccine when it's available again. Don't let a batch, no dose expire and so, because this thing's scarce. Have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother. Well said.
Catches good night again.
Yes, Jackie.
Your labor friend, nobody bashing Carbone. Carbone could defend himself. Carbone is a man talk about labor, he talk about union, he talk about everybody. He just say what he feel. So nobody bashing him. But if he walking up the hospital, I don't hear the thing what they say he say. But hearing people that they hear it, if he walking in the hospital, I think he needs to just hold it down a little bit. That's all we're talking about. And the lady who called and talk about fun, maybe she needs to hear it, because you can't be walking in some places and have them kind of thing to say, you know, but Carbone could defend himself because he don't care what he say. He talk about Douglas, Timothy, anything he wants to talk, he talk. And that's all I got to say. Good night. Catch.
Yes, my dear. Let's go back to the lines. Call your line.
Good night to scientists, Patches Liburd. Good night. I believe in our science.
Sovereign.
Yeah, man.
Sovereign Patches.
No, you come so constructive. You always got some good topic. You understand? You don't come with nothing negative. You always put something on the table that we could discuss. Now, Patches, the caller before Jackie, he give me goosebump. A young man, 29 years. Patches, when he talk just now, tears want to come to me eyes. You understand? And listening with a passion. Listening with a passion, Patches. And that's a young man. And I just that he in a good position, and he got a good job, and he tried to kill himself, and then get caught up in nothing with nobody. Patches, I want to commend all those who went and make the contribution to the social service. I believe that we're supposed to commend them, because people in difficulties, the country closed down, some people in working, and when I hear on the news that they give out over 400 package to people in the home who ain't got no corona, quarantine or nothing, I commend this country. And commend the people them. Nobody here suffering. Nobody here hungry. Patches, I went to some work today. I went in town today. For the day. And somebody called me on my phone and tell me how nasty tongue look with people. I said, well, you know, people going to the shopping. Some people done the shop. They're still going back. That's why the Prime Minister got to say what he got to say now. Because some of them deliberately going out and shop all the time. Patches, they say we don't have money, people have money, people can't, people hungry, people this, people that. Patches, and tomorrow, if you go out again, you see the same set of people, them loading up in other line again, going to shop again. So people go hungry, how people go this and how people go that. Patches, you got some people in this world
Patches will sit and work hard. And Patches will wonder what they do with their money. When I hear people calling and criticizing the government, say they got a house rent to pay, and got this to pay, and got that to pay, and got tire to pay, and got the other to pay. And I know them is people who work hard. Or you just want to know what some people do with their money, Patches? A man 50-something years, 60-something years, going to 70, many of them work hard, man or woman, and calling in, bawling, you know, and many of them work good money, Patches. Patches, we're in a crisis. And I think that if each one could help one who could afford to help do something. I want to commend people like Amarino. I want to commend Amari and all the Brisbane and all those business Patches. I believe that they come on board and they do what they got to do. And other business places who we ain't here about. Making contribution to these people who in quarantine and people who are home and then really got it. Because some people don't even work from since the first lockdown. Some people ain't gonna go up, maybe they got a little thing here and there to do, but they don't have a consistent job. And we got to commend people who go out and help them. And none of those things about it. No go politically about it. Look how me some of them pan radio brag. I said that they were nothing because a lady tell a lawyer who was in quarantine, right? She family over where they was quarantining, hungry, they were on help and all those things. And nothing like that goes up. Set up by a cook, you know. Set up by a cook and went on the panic registration, send it to send the voicemail to the host, the panic registration, and then the host that he got a feeling from this lady and he hurt him. So they're going to organize something to go to pick up package. But Patches, me not go organize not to pick up the package, you know. I went to give me contribution out of my heart and out of my little business what I do. Patches, when we had the thing with St. Vincent, I went into the bank and take something out of it and put it to the account, a general, and send me the contribution too. So Patches, I'm a true patriot to this country. I ain't playing the politics with nothing. This is a serious thing. And who want to play politics because of the thing and just want to bring down the government or bring down Dr. Harris, when we're in a crisis, that is the business. And I don't think they're going to get it work. Because if we say we're 98% literate and we see what's going on in this country and this government is trying to endeavor best to help the ordinary man and woman in this federation, I think it Nevis. That is after we get out of this, the lockdown, I hear the Prime Minister talking about a package again. I want to know how we get it though. But he's a God-blessed leader. God is blessing him good Patches. And I know he will stand firm and people will do something. Casilda, you got children, them, begin to children, them to help you. So stop blaming a God face, man. Stop blaming a God face.
Okay.
No,
Politics. Let's not go there.
Stop blaming a God face, man.
I know. Yeah, but let's not go there. Keep that.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your input. We go straight back to lines. Call you live.
Hey, Patrick, good night. How is everything?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
I am okay. No, you had a call from Nevis. This is what I don't like to hear people saying. I don't support people saying this thing. Your immune system is not like mine. You don't be saying that you take the vaccine and nothing happened to you. That don't mean something ain't happened to somebody else. I hate to hear people with that. I took the vaccine already, yes. I had pain in my back. I had pain in my legs. You don't say you took the vaccine because nothing happened to you. Don't see something happened to me. I hate to hear people saying them things.
Wait, nothing happened to him?
Hello?
If nothing happened to him, he can't say something happened to him.
Well, but he's saying nothing happened to him, meaning I get the impression he means nothing happened to me neither. And I've been hearing people saying that all the time over and over, they must have done with them thing. I didn't say something happened to him, he said nothing happened to him. But he's being depression. I don't take it because nothing happened to him, so nothing happened to me. But how come I end up with pain in my leg?
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, of course.
Okay, you had the vaccine and you had pain in your leg.
Yeah.
If another, God forbid, another pandemic come up and we have to take another vaccine, would you take it?
That is, I only take the vaccine under one condition.
You would not?
I only took it under one condition.
No, but we're going forward now.
Well, no, that'll be.
Sorry,
I'll have to give it a second thought. Next time on, let me put it that way. You satisfied with that?
Well, you don't want to eat first, right? So that's alright. How's that?
I don't want to eat first, I eat last.
Good to hear, my brother. Good to hear.
Anyway, what really told me to call you, but it's because the guy from Nevis. Well, I was thinking about calling you before him, but it's because of what he said. The first caller, she said she need the post office open. Remember, that woman been begging you for some money ever so long. She want to know if you send it. That's why she want the post office open. She want to know if anybody send anything to her. Remember she saying that? Okay, good.
She want a barrel.
That's the call to tell you.
Okay.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night. Good to hear you. She wants a barrel, not. Gotta go to the port. Let's go back to the lines. I'll call you live.
Good night, Patrick.
Good night, sir.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hello, Patrick.
Yes, go ahead.
I explained the thing today, right? And it's like, what takes place in town today is totally wrong. Up by Valley Mart, it had about 6 army men. You hear me? Hello? Patrick?
Yes, I'm listening to you. The whole world is listening to you.
Okay. Up by Valley Mart, about 6 army men up there, right? But then when the Chinese, by the 70th Church, had a compliance officer. I ended up with mace in helping, in defending the compliance officer down by the Chinese supermarket. Right now, I was popping out my head. Because like 2 individuals, like it could have been a husband and a wife, or a husband and a woman, beat down on the compliance officer. The compliance officer, all he was telling the man was to put not only man, but man and woman, or man and wife, pull the mask above the nose. The man, you don't want to see what they do with this man, you don't want to see what they do with the compliance officer, They're going to beat upon him, Everybody there, until there's something, When things going kind of how, and the police take authority, everybody take it up and put it on the phone and send it all over the world. But when the police them getting beat down, nobody take it and put it on the phone and send it around the world. I take it up on my behalf. I'm going to defend this man. And in defending the man, I get maced. Because I have to take my phone and call 911 on behalf of the police. He forgetting he got his phone in his pocket. So what I was doing to this man, call the police, and I had to call him. No man, this can't happen. Thank you, people like that. The full hand, the full arm. I said no. In everything the police do, that I does say call them out, but when they right, I can defend them. If you understand what I'm speaking of, right? The man right now, me no going on with me right now. Tomorrow is no way you could have a compliance officer but no supermarket. Tomorrow is the last shopping day until the next shopping day. You cannot have a compliance officer alone. They have to reinforce them. If you understand what I'm speaking of. I just speak of because of Value Mart.
with about 6 army men up there, and the Chinese, a compliance officer. If you understand what I'm speaking of, you cannot put it like that individually. One man? What about the Hartford Valley man with 6 army men? You can't have one individual. You could never talk to the Minister of National Security. You cannot have one individual. Security order.
I got you.
If you understand what I'm speaking of. You can't have one man. Respect.
I got you. Theo, let me take some call. Let me take some emails here for a couple seconds, Theo. Could you? I almost forgot my emails, so let me dispense of them. I want to agree with and give Granny my full support when he told the Prime Minister that those who condemn what he said about prayer and fasting are those who do not attend church. Granny boy, you are so correct. Those perverted devil churches are the rum shops and bars on Sunday mornings where they drink, they lime, curse, and swear all day Sunday. The curse of the Lord is on them. No wonder they are putting their head to post. They can't save any money they work for. Their marriage are in tatters, so they are attributing their failure in life to Timothy Harris. These scumbags really need to assimilate prayer and fasting in their wasted lives. Read this email. This other email reads, Mark Mahon, when are you going to be objective and see so politically subjective in your support of the Labour Party? You call into frank and candid criticizing the Speaker with your derogatory remarks. Where were you when Curtis Martin was Speaker? With his abysmal behavior, calling Sam especially all kind of scornful, degrading and insulting names. What you had to say, Mark, when Douglas screamed to the top of his voice and said, Mr. Speaker, a hug them there be, referring to Sam and other members sitting in the opposition, simultaneously pointing at them. Where were you, McMahon, when the Speaker mildly attempted to scold Douglas, and he raised his hand at Curtis Martin and said to him in an angry voice, I will have to talk to you. From that day, Martin became so fearful of the man that he gave him carte blanche authority to do and say whatever he wants in the House with impunity. So, McMahon, you're just fooling yourself. Reads this email. This other email reads, and Patches, a video circulated on social media is nothing short of being libelous about the Prime Minister. I do hope that the appropriate action will be taken in due course on that video. Enough is enough. Reads that email. Let's go back to the lines and take a few more calls before we wrap. Caller, I want to thank you for holding. You alive.
Good evening, Patrick.
Good evening.
Yes, this is Mr. Radical Culture is right here. And everybody who know me, they know who I am and what I stand for. I stand for truth and righteousness. And I uphold righteousness and I condemn wrong things. I never run from the greatest in the world in my sport when I competing. I like challenge. Because I know if they can reach up there, I can reach up there too. That is, I heard something on a what do you call it there? A voicemail with an employee cussing all the negative things about the Joseph and France Hospital. And I am telling you this is a reason why people make a lot of press control liquid. You cannot have a termite in your cabinet. Otherwise you ain't have no cabinet, you're going to eat it down. If you are working for a company and you're out in the street, bad talk in your company, and the CEO get to know what you're doing, you think you're going to go in the next day to work? Fire you! What I heard on the Facebook thing, what Carl Brown put on, he ain't just only condemn white, I'm sorry you want to say condemn what? Is a load of indecent language, the F in them. Don't take no dish of that type of vaccine. Up there, they want to kill you. Up the hospital, don't take none.
Yeah, no good. The doctor them they're making money out of it. He walk in there, whether here whosoever it is, you cannot bring down the place where giving you your bread. You have to respect it. If you have something bad about it or ill, keep it to yourself. If I come and you send it on Facebook, you know what you mean to do? You mean to mash up the hospital with how many people could send and put an ad on Facebook. So I'm afraid to say what he said. You can't be in a man's house, enjoying the man house, eating all windy and then going to the street and bad talk the man, throw you out. So me not care nobody so me back broad. I want to thank the government and the Prime Minister and all who in the government to contain this virus that we have here, all the hard work what they put in, the effort, everything, everybody. You hear the thing where you play about what you read about Mr. Larry Vaughan? The compliment where he give to the medical people them at the hospital. That is what I like about people. Speak the truth. Not because you're back in a political party and you say good, you're going to call it bad. That is the problem we have around here. So I don't care what nobody say. They must go up on the what you call it, the factory. The machine factory, the sugar workers' money then. They must go up there and say what they want to people and abuse the Prime Minister, call him all kind of name, abuse the CMO, abuse the Chief of Staff, and the whole team. Obvious Samuel, everybody who doing best for the country. We going forward, we ain't going back. This is something that nobody have no control about it. You can't hear it, you can't see it, you can't smell it. You could touch it, but you don't want to touching it. And everybody have to be concerned because it's either life or death. And so therefore all these people who are on the front line, the nurses, the doctors, everybody, they have to be commended highly, very highly. And those who are trying to bring them down, let me tell you something, they have no God in their heart, none. None. The Bible says, love your enemies. You hear me? And I want to tell them, no care, don't care what kind of bad language and how they try to humiliate the Prime Minister and the team, they can't do them nothing. God put them there. And who God bless, no man curse. Thank you, Patrick.
No man curse. Got you?
Right.
Loud and clear, my brother. Let's go back to the lines. Take a few more calls before we wrap. Call your line.
Long time I ain't talk to you. Hold on, I'm not going ready. Yeah, man. Respect you. What about beer? Right now with you.
How are you, Mr. Davis? I am good.
Long time I speak with you.
What about you?
You know, they mash me up down here, man. I keep my bike, I keep things from you, keep your phone where you give me, and so forth. But thank God, you give me one for my birthday. Anyhow, let's get things right on the momentum. The talk of certain circumstances of principle. I'm saying tonight that I'm very proud of the turnout of the vaccination that's been going on and the vaccination rollout. And due to the fact of the vaccination rollout, I want to let the people them know. Do not blame the Prime Minister, I blame the government for nothing. One the reason why, when the Prime Minister said the border closed, everybody said open it. Now the border open, and things happen, they make nice with the Prime Minister. Let me tell you something. That is, the Prime Minister is doing a very good job here in this federation. And we could never, ever have a hog to run this country. They send a young man from Tabernacle to study, to be the best accountants in the world and the best Prime Minister in the world. You understand? He must work here as a Prime Minister. He give up a professor job to come and be the Prime Minister. And a lot of people work with him. My name is James Davis. And when I meet him in the Treasury, And I told him he's going to come Prime Minister. You know, he turned to me and tell me, when anytime that happens, I'm going to take care of you. But I do not run behind him. God, I respect him. And I respect his children. The beauty about it, we had a rum barrel. We moved from a rum barrel to accountants of liability, of technology, of science, of philosophy. And the thing about it, my Prime Minister, he brings out professionalism. When you mean what I mean by professionalism, you want Mr. Laws and Dr. Wilkerson and Mr. Samuel and Commissioner Brandy. You understand? Let me tell you something. This team, he bring up Mr. Byron, Attorney General, right? The Deputy Prime Minister. You know, when you got it, what you're looking for? When you have the Prime Minister talk and so forth, I listen to it every night. I never call in. Never want to call in. So I don't waste my talk. You understand? And this man just make sure he call each and everyone in their position and they explain and they speak to the country. Nobody hold nobody by the throat and make nobody take no vaccine. Don't hear treated. Which is, I told them that before. I told them that on your show before. I told them, please, when anything happen, please do not blame the Prime Minister for nothing or the government for nothing. Because the Prime Minister asked them to do certain things and to be with him. And there's one thing about him, he like church. He's a person who believes in God. And he's spiritually strong. And he's Timothy 1 and Timothy 2. And my name is John James Taylor.
Got you.
And I respect you. And I want you to have a good night. I want you to get a seeker watch for me. When you're coming down.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay,
I want you to take care of yourself.
Okay, my brother.
And may the Lord be with you. Now I want to say a prayer for my country. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Oh Father Almighty God, I would like you to heal this land and bring this land together for progress and success. And everyone sick in this land of ours, St. Christopher Nevis, I will appreciate, oh God Almighty, to bring them healing to all people who are sick in the hospital. Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out. Heal them, oh Father Almighty God. The Lord is my shepherd, thou shalt not want. He made us to lie down in green pastures. He led us beside the still waters of the path of righteousness of his name's sake. Yea, we walk in the valley of the shadow of death. We shall fear no evil. No evil. That demon, we rebuke that demon, that invisible demon. Oh Father Almighty God, bless this country this blessed day. Bless St. Kitts and Nevis, and bless this full generation of this federation. Oh God, I ask you to heal this country and make everybody come out strongly again and be powerful again. Oh Father Almighty God, in Jesus' precious name, amen. Selah. Shalom Abikan.
Amen. Amen. I was going to make that my last call, but let's take this one since you got it here. Caller?
Yeah, Patches, good night. Again.
Yes, sir.
Patches, I want the Honorable Prime Minister to do 3 things for me. I know hung so kind of in a wheelchair for his work where he has done to this country. I know Agnes Kerrick, Anna El Comido Willett in Nevis, where we be in Charlestown. These people have served this country well. Don't come tell me nothing about Nevis, do nothing. We want to see El Comido Willett go up there by the governor and get what for he. If you can't do it on the independent. We want to see Agnes Kerrick go right up there and get what for her. For looking after the 60s children and the 70s children and further back a field. We want to see the other one get looked after. I want to see the Prime Minister do these things under his tender in this country. That is good night.
My dear brother, I'll take this one to you if it's begun by brevity. Caller?
Yes, Prajis, I'll be short as you say. You remember last year during the election campaign, there was a gentleman who said, if you are going to stand up in the line to look food, I will go stand up in the line to vote, right? And that was alright for a lot of people. Now the Prime Minister says if you go in the line and you know you're going to be there for a long period of time, it doesn't make sense. You go home, use what you have at home and pray and fast, and that is a problem. I can't understand how people think, you know. But you have a good night.
A good night, my brother. I'm Theo. What's it? Caller. I'll take this, make this. Yes, I think I'm out of time. I'm out of time. My time is done, and I've got to run. I wanted to end with Bumpy, but I took 2 more calls because tonight was about prayer, commendation, and thanks. I again want to commend all those who have brought us to this point in terms of our roll up and roll out. That's the roll up your sleeves and vaccinate program. It's my understanding that some 41,850 doses were administered. Some 69.4%, almost 70% that's required, have got their first dose, and 57.2% have got their second dose, and that is commendable. We want to commend the doctors, the nurses, especially Dr. Laws, our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hazel Laws, and our Medical Chief of Staff, Dr. Cameron Wilkinson. The law enforcement, our Commissioner of Police, Hilroy Brandy, doing a wonderful job there in the background as well. Our COVID task force, Superintendent Henry and those guys. Don't forget our security at SCASPA and NASPA. Who's on beat tonight at SCASPA and on NASPA? Our customs officers, our immigration, those on the front lines in this war against COVID. We have done a wonderful job. We don't have to care about those like the leader of the opposition who chose not to get his vaccine, and in doing so he failed to protect our children who cannot take it. He failed to protect the elderly who cannot take it. But we know what he did before in failing the children of today. But those who did, we want to commend all of them as well. Those who did not take the vaccine did not take it for themselves. Never mind others. And those who did it for themselves, did it for children, did it for those who could not take it, and most of all, they did it for the country.
Hesitate. Please go out and get vaccinated. Do it for yourself. Do it for our children. Do it for every pregnant woman and her unborn child who cannot be vaccinated. Do it for your country. Do it as a citizen of this world, as no one is safe until everyone is safe.
We must as well commend people like Larry Vaughan. And I said before, for full disclosure, he's my cousin. But he did demonstrate maturity when he publicly provided his testimonial of thanks under the caption, "Healed and Satisfied." Today, he wrote, "I want to write my first thoughts about my recent experience being a recipient of excellent health care in the country. It came about after a week of experiencing changing conditions, which I thought were just associated with a cold that had come upon me. There were days during that week when I had no aches, no pains, and no signs of sickness after days of coughs, headaches, muscle pains, and a runny nose. But one day, it became unbearable, and I had to be taken to the hospital with shortness of breath and chills. This was the day that I was diagnosed with COVID-19, and the day some unscrupulous and unprofessional persons thought it was in their best interest to announce it to the country. At one point, even before the doctors told me about my diagnosis. That's another story which I have come to smile about and say, at least my story got their juices going. My hope is that," he continues, "in the future, medical information for all patients at our hospital and at all testing facilities would be kept confidential. I know there are nosy people out there with agendas, be they personal or partisan, but the creed of our health system should not allow anyone to divulge other people's medical information. That aside," he continues, "I want only to say that I was pleased beyond words with the show of care and professionalism I witnessed and experienced while being attended to at the Joseph N. France Hospital and later in the government-run quarantine facility where I was isolated. Kudos to my cousin for demonstrating maturity. But that's what we should have in this country. We need some more Larry Vaughans. And we need a leader like Prime Minister Harris who shares and cares about his people.
I am a leader who carries the pain of my people heavy on my heart and on my mind. I am a leader who want to share in their joys and in their sorrow. And part of my responsibility always is to help our people to get where they must go, where is necessary, where they can be safe and secure. Indeed, the theme of our last campaign was that we will have a stronger and safer future. And so I tend to encourage, urge, strongly require that we bring all on board to ensure that each one can enjoy this stronger and safer future.
Yes, come on board when the vaccine train moves out again. That's the way we're going to end it. My family, because my time is done and I've got to run. Don't you move your dial, because the mayor from St. Paul's is already in the house and he's ready and raring to go with his oldie goldies. But I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight. And as always, I want to thank you, the callers. The many I'm sure could not get in, but those who got in, I want to thank you. For those on social media, I want to thank you on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever the platform. I thank you. Those who send emails as well, remember, all of you, how could I affect the many who listen to the big, bad ZIZ radio? All of you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that I say a big, big thank you. Don't forget those in the engine room, John James and Beverly Wilkerson. Without them, there's no Straight Talk as well. So until we connect on Monday for another edition of Straight Talk, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Be good to all whom you meet, and enjoy the best of what's left of tonight. Remember, whatever your mind conceived, that you will achieve. But first of all, you gotta believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Monday.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe.
ZIZ, we want to take a moment to salute our small business owners and encourage you to support them. Our small business owners are always hard at work providing quality goods and services to you. They also provide employment for many and can be